Hi, we're here at Blue Valley High School where we're doing another spotlight interview where we shine the light on students backstage. Today we talk with Brandon Dupree, who spends all of his time and more backstage.
Hi, my name is Brandon Dupree. I go to Blue Valley High School and I am an aspiring lighting designer and stage manager. I don't think there's any sort of skills you need to be a good tech person. As long as you're here on time and have a willingness to learn and adapt to situations, you could be an amazing tech person. I started doing tech. I was the soundboard op for our marching band here at the high school. I kind of walked into it. They were like, hey, does someone want to run sound? And I had some experience helping at my church back when I was like in middle school, but like maybe once, twice a year kind of thing. Where like, hey, can you just do this really fast? Because I was one of the older kids and they were like, was one of the more trusted and well-known ones. So they're like, can you just do this? And so I started that with my freshman year. They got a brand new sound system that I learned a lot about sound engineering and stuff from the band directors. And my freshman year, or first semester, I signed up to do crew, to do work on one of the crews for Elephant's Graveyard. There was already a tech presence here in the booth and backstage, so I was put on house crew as an usher. Then starting my sophomore year, I took stagecraft because I liked building. I'd help my dad build all the time. And I was like, this sounds like a fun class where I could learn to build. And like a week into school, one of the upperclassmen in the class was like, hey, I need someone who's strong enough to lift the curtains to help with the talent show. And they're like, it's just like 5 days you have to help. And I'm like, sure, why not? Not really thinking that was gonna lead to anything. And I walk in the very first day. Our call time was later, so all the upperclassmen and a few of their crew were already here. I walk in, I look up to the booth, I see two guys, one of them who I knew, one of them I had no clue who they were, and then I saw this older guy who would later become my mentor and just a man I look up to this day. So I started helping out with all the shows here. And ever since that talent show, up until when I've graduated, there's not been a single show that has gone through this year where I have not had a hand in. My expertise mostly relies in lighting and stage management. I started off in sound and worked my way through there. The kids now have definitely passed me on some standards. So I wouldn't say I'm really my expertise, but lighting and stage management is definitely my expertise. A few of the titles I've held here at Blue Valley High School have been from starting off usher to ending with technical director. I've done everything in between, from being a running crew to a mic tech, soundboard op, lightboard op, lighting designer, set designer, sound designer, assistant stage manager, even a little bit on the makeup crew my freshman year, to being a set mover, a rigger, a fly rail op, to lighting designer and all that stuff. And the only job I have not done has been costumes and spot op. When I think of stage management, I think of the person I think of it as a person who takes a puzzle and puts it together. You have the lighting, you have the sound, you have the actors, you have the music, you have the sets, you have the backstage working, and you have all these individual pieces that as one piece, they're not a full production. But the stage manager is the one that brings them all together in the very end. You have the rehearsals where some of the pieces start going together, but it's never the puzzle, it's never like the puzzle master almost who puts it together. It's always someone else who puts those together to get used to that, to get the actors used to the music playing along when the music director's playing at rehearsals, to get them used to that. And that's just one tiny piece, but that's not the puzzle master kind of, or the stage manager in this case, putting it together. It's when you get to the theater space, or when you're working on the show and it's the finals, it's the dress rehearsals, it's the tech rehearsals, where it's the stage manager or the puzzle master who's taking all these individual pieces, putting them all in to make this beautiful production. And I think that's what stage management is to me. So probably some of the most proud things I am of here is creating a crew, is taking what used to be a small, divided group of tech production people who were divided between two different departments and bringing them all into one massive collection of strong tech people who work together to get things done. On the flip side, when I came, I started out as a crew member, and what happened was the current seniors and the current upperclassmen, along with my mentor, were like, I realized very, very quickly that I loved technical theater. I loved lighting, I loved sound, I loved being backstage, I loved doing all that very quickly within the first few months. So for the rest of that year, they took me in and under their wing and said, we're going to teach you everything we know. And they taught me as much as they could before they left. And then I came to my junior year and I realized I do not know as much as I should have, and I did not learn as much. But those first few months, while it was very challenging, and there were ups and downs, definitely. There were moments where victories of I finally did something, to realizing, except what I did was wrong, now I have to redo it, type things. And then slowly I got into a rhythm. And that's when the kids started coming. They started doing shows with me. And I started teaching them, becoming more of a mentor to them, just like how I was mentored my sophomore year. In my spare time, I did marching band all throughout high school. So in first semester, I definitely had marching band. I had marching band 2 times a week after school. And in the morning, I have to get here at 7. And on the weekends, I had marching band competitions and stuff and rehearsals. So that's kind of what I did in my free time. Other than that, a lot of it was rehearsals after school, and then I would stay after and help clean up. And then I would go home, rest, and watch YouTube videos on how to record stuff on a board, like how to take apart this light and put it back together, or how to troubleshoot a problem you have with sound, how to build a table, how to make your own lights, how to paint different things, how to make props. I mean, just anything I can do to help further myself. And a lot of it was skills I knew, but I didn't know how to explain them to others. Like how to figure out angles of lights, how to get that perfect 45 or that perfect straight down, or that slight angle you need to get the front of their face but still look like a down light. A lot of it I didn't know how to explain that in by teaching them, by saying, okay, this is how that works. So a lot of it was me looking online for examples of other designers, what the work they've done, or a designer saying, this is my plot and this is how to read a plot, which I knew, but it was hard for me to explain because I couldn't do as much plot work here. A lot of it was hand drawn and I didn't have the greatest handwriting, or it wasn't the greatest, so I was the only one who really understood it. Over time I used online stuff to help expedite that process. To all middle schoolers and high schoolers out there thinking about doing tech teaches you a lot of life skills you can use later on in life. Also, you make so many good friends, and it's such a great way to get involved at school and in the community around you.